Hello and welcome to Marotopia, a community of artists, producers and sound lovers. I'm Marc Robert, and together with my dear friend Robert Babic, we played the biggest clubs and festivals around the globe and released thousands of tracks on first-class labels like Compact, Bedrock, Carl Cox's Awesome Soundwave and many, many more. And of course on Systematic, my imprint. Hey Robert, how are you doing?
Hello, Marc. What an introduction you have for us. Wow.
Yeah, bam, bam, bam. We did this, we did that. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Not bad.
We are the best, aren't we?
Of course. Yeah, so welcome everyone. And we are very thankful for all the new viewer that found us and and you that you look at us at this amazing video podcast from me and Marc. And we are here for you.
Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed to our Marotopia channel, please do it now. And don't forget to click on the bell, because sometimes YouTube ignores the following aspect only without having clicked on the bell. So thanks for this. And also spread the word that we are around. We are newbies on YouTube somehow when it comes to this format. So spread the word and tell your friends.
Exactly. Yes.
So today we have a very exciting topic, and maybe some of you might think, yeah, but really? I mean, do we have to talk about this? Yes, we have to talk about this. I'm talking about nothing else than preamps. And I must admit that a while ago, I mean, already many years ago, I underestimated this topic as well. But now I'm completely convinced, because preamps can be used for the microphone, but they can also be used for recording synthesizers and drum machines, analog ones. And some of you might say, yeah, but why not just entering my sound card and connecting it directly to my synth? But here comes Dr. Babic, and he will tell you why a preamp is mandatory. So let us know.
Okay. First, just a little info. Okay. Imagine why certain music from, let's say, the past sounds so warm and clear and really have all this character. And it's because they were recorded on mixer, right?
And mixing desks.
Mixing desks. And every mixing desk have in every channel a microphone preamp.
Yes.
And people are not aware that this is something that makes sense. So, and I'm talking about this all the time with people, that it really makes sense to record your synthesizer or your drum machines through a microphone preamp if you use hardware, right? And even if you don't have any hardware, even then it would make sense to have a pair of preamps, even to send your VSTs through it. It makes a difference. Even a VST can sound like an analog synth just by re-recording it through a preamp.
Yeah, I did this many times with Arturia machines, and there is an additional value. Try it out. It's a bit of hassle sometimes depending on the sound card, to root it out of the sound card and then in again. So it took me a little bit of efforts. But once it's done, you will have stunning results, right?
Yeah, and let me explain a little bit why. Because the difference is kind of subtle, right? Really tiny, but it makes sense through the whole track. Because if I record anything like here, like a drum machine, make boom, boom, through the preamps, the preamp is already doing something with the dynamic and also with the overall sound, with the texture. And that means that I really need less processing later on. So less plugins, less compression, less EQ. Most of the stuff that I record through the preamps sounds almost perfect already. And even then, if you put some effects or on this, it will be more consistent. There are so many things to consider about this. It's also like the good preamps, they make something with the dynamics. They probably even smooth the transients a little bit, but without taking them away. So the signal stays clear, but you have more dynamic later on. There's so many things. And basically, the good thing is the choice that you do with a preamp, because there are so many on the market, gives you an own sound. Because, I mean, everyone is using a DAW, right? And I mean, most of you guys probably are on this Ableton thing. Says someone that is using only Logic.
Yeah, not me. This is you.
Marc. But anyway, all this. I mean, what do we have? We have so much music coming out every day, and if you are honest, most of the stuff sounds the same. Because anyway, most of the guys use the same synths, the same plugins. Everything sounds the same, and a way to get an own character, like your personal sound, is the choice of a preamp. This can change something. And I have here an API lunchbox with my favorite preamps, and you will see that. And but I also have here on the side many different preamps, because I'm a total fan of this different characters, and for me it's like a color palette that I'm using for my mixdowns. So when people ask me, Robert, what is your secret for your amazing sound? Why it's so detailed and 3D? It's because I run every signal through the output preamps. It's really something.
And when it comes to our masterclasses,
do you really want to keep producing tracks nobody plays?
We show you in Malta at our masterclass in Robert's studio how to stand out of the crowd. And we want to take your track to the next level. And we are more than happy to help you with this. So, February 2026, Marotopia Masterclass in Malta. Yes. I always see astonished faces when you address the preamp. First of all, everyone is like, yeah, but really, I don't know, is this really necessary? But this is the point, and this is maybe one reason why you're also watching our channel. We want to tell you, with the experience of that many releases we did, what makes a difference. Because when we meet people who are participants of our masterclass, they know the style, they know which sounds to use, they know how to be groovy, they know how to arrange it a proper way. But it's these little things, these little tiny things which can make a track very particular. And using a preamp is for sure one aspect you should really bear in mind. So let's dive into different preamp recommendations. And I would suggest that we maybe separate the recommendations depending on the budget. Let's say we have a user who says, yeah, great idea, I would like to buy one, but hey, more than 500 euros or US dollars is a bit difficult at the moment. What would you suggest to these people?
Yeah, okay. First, when it comes to preamps, something that is really, really important for the sound, at least in my personal view, is the preamp that you get, because most of the interfaces these days, they have built-in preamps. But these built-in preamps, they are mostly okayish, but they don't have character, almost never.
Yeah.
Right?
So we talk about tone coloring and tone shaping, right?
And for that, you need the magic word when it comes to preamps is transformer. It's a little metallic thing built in that is really important for this for the texture. So when you look out for preamps, look that the preamp has transformer built in, and they are first. I'm a little bit chaotic today. There are three categories, like mainstream categories for preamps. There's a company called Neve. Probably you heard of this. The Neve.
Champions League.
Yeah, 1073. Then there is a company called API. And the later ones, a big company, SSL.
Yeah.
These are like the mainstream preamps where most of the other preamps came from. And now the market is big and we have like hundreds of different variations, but there's a certain character, right?
Yes, and before you start to choose the preamps, also think about the matter of fact, mono or stereo. If you are somebody who wants to use it maybe just for kick or for bass sounds, then I think a mono machine is appropriate. But if you also work with pads or something, or if you work with stereo signals anyway and like them, of course you need a two-channel solution.
Yeah. And then besides recording something clean but in a good way, you can also overdrive your preamps. So you can get a certain saturation and a certain saturation character, right?
Yeah.
So let's say Neve is known to be warm and crunchy when you saturate it. API is more punchy and mid-forward, right? And SSL is kind of a clean variant, but has an own sound.
Yeah, but this is not for techno. But I think
it's for techno. Definitely.
When
100%.
it's too clean? Okay.
No. SSL works nice.
But Neve is also mid-emphasizing.
Yeah.
So I would not exclude Neve when it comes to
not at all.
emphasizing the mids. Yeah, but make it special. I mean, the preamp is there to make the sound more sexy, to make it more dimensional, to make it more addressing. It's very hard to explain. You have to try it out yourself. And maybe you have a possibility of a dealer who can provide you different preamps so that you have the possibility to make a comparison.
Test it out.
But the mentioned brands from Robert are for sure the one. But now let's come back to the low budget thing. Let's say I only have 400, 500, 600 euros or USD. What could you recommend?
Okay. If you want, because I know people will slap me in my face.
Yeah, now it's becoming
I still
delicate.
You can get, because Behringer did a Neve copy for really little money. It's the Behringer 1273. It's a 1073. That's the high-end Neve preamp copy for really little money. It has a transformer in it. Also, the Behringer 676 is also nice. It even have a tube design. Very interesting.
The funny thing is, it looks like a Neve machine. So when you cannot read the brand and you see the knobs, you completely think about a Neve surface, right?
Yeah, and then because a lot of my students actually bought something from Heritage Audio. It's a Spanish company.
Okay, but
they are a little bit more expensive. Yeah.
Okay, but let's stay with the Behringer.
Okay, well, let's stay with
Behringer or Behringer.
Yeah.
Let's say Behringer, because Robert and I were coming from the Cologne Düsseldorf area as Behringer comes, and for us it's actually Behringer.
Yeah,
but
also other cheaper companies that possible. Golden Audio.
Okay, but
Golden Age. It's super cheap. Super cheap. It's always right. It's affordable. Golden Age have something. It's called Premier Pre 73. It's also a Neve copy. Actually, the market is full of Neve copies. A lot, because this is almost like the holy grail for a lot of people. I also have, and you will see this, I also have Golden Age here. I have Heritage here, and I have different ones. But Golden Age, SPL, I have something, the company called ART, A-R-T. They have tube preamps for really low money. ART TPS II with tubes has a certain sound as well. Warm Audio is doing interesting preamps. Not too expensive. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then comes some other stuff that is a little bit more expensive. And don't worry, the cheap stuff is not bad. It's already really usable. And like I said, I'm using them together with the high-end stuff, because all of them have a different character. So like I said in the beginning, it's a color palette. And you simply just decide what kind of colors you want to use.
Okay, in the range from super clean and one-to-one to dirty beast, these two poles, which one would you recommend for I want to have it one-to-one, or I want to have it dirty?
All of them.
Patina.
Marc, that's the interesting thing. You have an input knob, especially like why Neve is so liked by the people. You have an input and an output, and you can overdrive the unit inside the unit and just take the output down. So you have all the different sounds that are possible. I'm recommending this. On the other side, I'm okay, and now it makes no sense that I say this. I don't use Neve so much for synths. I am a really, really big fan, and this is my go-to thing. I use API for all my synths, for my drums. If I'm recording them on the mixdown sessions, I use Neve again. I use even preamps, not just once. I really like the sound of API because it's clean and punchy, while Neve is warm and nice, but can be also very gritty, and you can distort it very nice. It's not so easy to have this topic today, really. Maybe we do one video soon where I prepare some files that you can even download for yourself and hear the difference.
Yeah, and now it's also your call, dear Marotopians. So please leave a comment. What are your experiences with preamps? Which one have you used? Have you already compared certain preamps with other ones? Very interesting. The Behringer 1273, which is a clone. How is it in comparison with the original from Neve? So please leave your experience and your comments in the comment section. And Robert and I are very, very, very curious to read something about your experience.
Definitely. Really, definitely. I'm also checking what other stuff is on the market. Yeah, warm audio is nice. Even Focusrite has some preamps that are not too expensive, I see here. And I have two Focusrite modules as well. Heritage. SBL. Friedstein. I forgot them. Also not too expensive. There are a lot of companies actually. Black Lion is also, you will see some of the stuff I show you.
Yeah, too many to mention. Okay, here's the summary. So, if you would love to enhance your sound, if you would to make your sound more sexy, more dimensional, add some patina, try out a preamp if you haven't done this before. There are lots of different ones on the market. The market is a jungle. The Behringer 1273 is for sure one model you can try out. It's pretty affordable, but you can also use API or the other ones Robert has recommended. We will put all mentioned models into our description so that you still have an overview which one Robert and I recommend. And yeah, please leave your comment in the comment section so that we know what your experiences are. And in a later episode, we will tell you more about our experiences. So this is an open case, and we want to develop and we want to discuss things in an open way with you together so that, like in this episode, we don't have a 100% answer to all questions. So you are the Marotopians, you are our community. We want to create it all together. By the way, if you're not on Discord in the Marotopia group, please enter our Discord group where a lot of discussions are happening. The Discord link is also in the description. And like always in Marotopia, my dear friend Robert has the very last words.
Preamps are not only for recording microphones. You can use preamps for your synths. And I wish you a wonderful day. Bye-bye.